The bros, just shake it off. Bit of Taylor Swift, and we'll see whether they can just get back on the horse and make this happen. That abomination, the horror of that composition is not going to come back to bite them anymore. So we'll see whether they can utilize this in order to pick up a win. As Pantheon's in, going to remain the bans. Vicalista and Wukong were the bans for Gen.G. Will we see a change? Is Skarner maybe not going to be the priority ban here, but we will see.
Yeah, we'll see what gets changed up here. So now banning the Azir this time.
Why ban Azir when Taliyah is available? That's my little question.
We'll see. We'll have to see what they have figured out. Skarner left open and available though, so perhaps Canyon could end up playing that if it just goes through.
Trundle. I kind of like this. Take away the Scion possibilities and things like that.
Wukong and Skarner both open, so maybe trying to force...
Wait. No, this gives the Scion opportunities.
Yeah. They are... So they picked the Taliyah, but they banned...
Azir.
Yeah.
What do they mean by this?
Gwen now open, and the thing is, Morgan not really a Jace player, and Rumble is gone.
And you can't play tanks into Gwen. Because she just kind of cuts them down.
Guys, more Brotax right now, please.
We need a lot more Brotax. Last time, the draft was looking pretty good. Taliyah is strong, but we had a bit of a hiccup. You can really see that there isn't quite as much left in the coffers as there was in the previous game. As Gwen Wukong...
Guys, I'm looking for more Brotax right now.
Yeah.
Guys...
I don't know what the Brotax is going to look like when these champions are locked in, but it needs to be something that makes us go, ah! I get it now.
Yeah. I feel like the jungle pool's been pinched so heavily already in this situation. I mean, Jack's top, honestly, as far as picks goes.
I mean, Sedge doesn't feel great.
Sedge is already gone.
Oh, wait, yeah. Never mind.
But I think the Jax, you know, this was like the old school counter to Gwen. So I think as far as it goes, it's a pick that Morgan's definitely comfortable with. Decent into the Gwen, not bad into the Wukong. So I think fair to pick up. You could honestly go like, I was going to say Poppy, but Poppy was taken away game 1 as well in the support role, so...
Is it like Nocturne, Viego? Okay, Nocturne it is.
Nocturne comes out.
Does feel like this was the last possible option.
Yeah.
What they wanted, and it's just an Ahri.
Ahri pretty good into Taliyah and also able to outplay Nocturne. My one concern as well is that, like, in terms of Nocturne ulting targets, nothing good yet. You kind of want to force Ruler onto something that's good to ult.
Well, he can't play Ezreal.
He can't, but he can play Xayah. But I feel like on blue side here, it's like you kind of want to ban Alistar.
Yeah, you almost have to.
And then it's like, do you ban Xayah? But then Senna's open, and Senna...
Well, you have to ban Rakan as well. Because there's no Poppy. There is a Taliyah, right? So playing Rakan into Taliyah is hard, but like, the Rakan Wukong is so strong.
It is very strong. But I think, it's tough. I think you probably ban Alistar here, and then it's a tough call.
Edgar, you can see Edgar is feeling a little bit up against the wall, as the Xayah going to be the first thing to be taken away. You already indicated as to why that would be big priority pick for Ruler.
You just have to ban this. Because the problem with the Senna is even though Senna's a mobile, if you ult and Senna E's, you can't ult onto it.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then they banned the Alistar. Okay, great, just ban Senna, you're fine.
All right. Kind of offering a little bit back here is Gen.G.
Yeah, you do not want to play in the Senna. It's really, yeah, great. Cool, chill. I think things are feeling a little bit better as a result of that.
I feel like Ruler wanted to play something else. I wonder what that is.
Yeah. We'll see. They seem to be talking to him. It seems like he might end up picking it up. His pick now.
Yeah, I expect support counterpick could be the option here. Unless Duro just wants... Okay,
oh, the Nico.
That's a Nico. They want to like deny Braum already.
They could go like Nico Kai'Sa. But save the Kai'Sa and have the Nico now.
It does deny Braum. Braum we've seen have a lot of power, and we've seen a lot of teams, especially here in games 2 and 3, look towards Lucian Braum at particularly this spot.
Yep.
So it's going to feel a little bit less good. They are still looking at it.
They don't care.
Oh my
They'll
goodness.
do it anyway. I feel like a lot of the support options end up feeling uncomfortable with this. They're looking towards the Nautilus anyway.
Okay.
So they lock that in. Do they just go Kai'Sa Nord and deny it?
I mean, the composition does work around a Kai'Sa type situation. There is a lot of dive.
Also means you can pick up his Zhonya's and feel less bad about it, which works well into what Gen.G have.
True.
Gonna go for the Lucian though?
The Lucian Nautilus.
Okay, I think you now know that like you can just pick Kai'Sa into this because Lucian's not... You're not playing against like a long-range thing that's going to bully you out of the lane, so I think Gen.G's composition is pretty good.
Well, do you know what this is? This is called reverse psychology. You try something the first time around, they're like, oh, we've shoehorned Gen.G into a composition that doesn't look that good on paper. The opposite happens, right? They look great. You know, these picks look designed for these players, and they make you look silly. What if we just did the opposite thing? What if we gave them all of the best meta champions in every single role outside of maybe the Kai'Sa isn't necessarily top of that one at this point in time, and then they're not as good? Maybe that's the bro reasoning. Certainly sounds like the bropium.
Yeah, that's
coming out right now because I don't
sound a little
know
bit like
how
what
much I can-
Dagon would be saying right now.
I can't really justify it. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a real rough situation here for the bros.
I think for me, looking at the drafts, really looking at this Nocturne, Talia, and what they can get done on the map because
Hey! Well,
that's
thanks,
so
guys.
sweet. That's so nice.
What does the W stand for? In WCast. It stands for whack. Thanks, G-Sun. She came in and let us know. We're a bit whack.
We are a bit wacky. That's so true.
It stands for wacky, doesn't it?
We are quite
We're
wacky.
a bit wacky. We were talking mainly about tax fraud in the last game. We'll see whether we're going to be talking about that again here in this game, or whether the bros are going to be able to turn around a difficult game one against the undefeated Gen.G. Top of the rift and see how it goes.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Oh my god, Ox, you'll love this one.
Yep.
So, Cruz's Villa said that actually the W stands for Wuffy Tuffy.
That's so great.
That's actually perfect.
I love
Actually perfect. Huge
And you know
W
what?
in the chat, guys.
I think after this draft, bro might be in for a Wuffy Tuffy.
It's looking like they're already in a Wuffy Tuffy, based on what we saw in the previous game, Ox.
Yeah. Oh, Keen went
미니언들이
Ignite as well.
생성되었습니다.
That's cheating.
Base,
You know?
base skin Kai'Sa?
Wait, what?
That is insanity.
You know what? Maybe that's what the bro tax paid for.
What, the Jackie Love skin that just feels way better to play?
They like took the skin off Ruler. Ruler loads in, he's like, oh, I don't have my skin.
Wait a second.
Oh, man.
Well, Duro is just going to... Look at that. Bit of extra wave control. Love to see that.
Because I just can't comprehend the prospect of someone not taking...
I know. But you are like one of the world's biggest Jackie Love fans, so
Sadly.
there's a few there's a few reasons why you wouldn't understand.
Oh, tough esports, so this stand. Oh, man.
It was a rough time. And you're an LCK commentator. That's the worst part, is that it still hurts. Even if he hasn't been in the LPL for quite some time.
Yeah. It's fun to watch, you know.
Yep. Oh, believe me, I know. I've been there.
You know what? Have you ever just, like, for some reason it's on your recommended on YouTube and it's just like...
Oh, it's like what if it's on, it'll come up immediately after any other video. We've got a bit of an engage here towards the bottom side. Hype getting taken
But I
down
just mean it's like
50%.
Trainwrecks compilation 20...
Oh, no.
Thing, and I'm like, oh! And then for some reason there's like a Top Esports International clip
And you
in there.
just thought that you were going to watch trains.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, that's pretty sad for the trains as well. They're kind of majestic machines.
Yeah.
Did you have a trains collection when you were a kid? I feel like that's an English boy thing to have.
I didn't.
You didn't? I did. Model trains.
That's pretty nice.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So my dad built me like a train track for the model trains. was the best.
That sounds great, honestly.
Yeah, it was really, really
I'm a little jealous, actually.
Oh, sorry about that.
But I can't really... I say that and it makes it sound like I didn't... Like, I had a lot of Legos, so I can't complain.
Oh, which ones were your favorite when you were a kid?
Star Wars Legos.
Oh,
man.
yeah, they're just the best.
Oh, they're so good.
And I'm having a son, and I haven't built my Collector's Edition Millennium Falcon yet. I'm going to save it until he's of the appropriate age. And we're going to build it together, and it's going to be the greatest father-son thing to do ever.
Which is obviously going to be when he's 6 months old, and he's crying, and you're like, be quiet! And you're building
Shut up, I'm looking for the piece!
Stop drooling on the pieces!
No, I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We can't risk him eating the pieces. Because then I wouldn't have the piece for my Millennium Falcon. It's all right. Keen is in a bit of trouble here. He's getting scared, and you can see why. That is the Lord picking up the first blood. And that's really nicely done.
You know what? It happened last game, it happened this game. Bro attacks towards the early kills. Goes a long way, and the wave state, pretty good. It will be a TP from Keen, though, to make up for it, but this is kind of the trade-off. He has that early ignite, doesn't have a more defensive summoner. And just a great angle. Keen trying to get the wave push in. A good trade from Morgan, followed in by that stun, the flash from Crocker to secure.
And it's like a gank working for a Nocturne, sub-level 6 as well, which is kind of huge.
I feel like when there's a Nocturne, I'm like, okay, I kind of measure whether this pick has been successful by how his first ult goes. Like, you get like a kill for his first ult, great.
It's the old Twisted Fate adage, you know?
Exactly. You're going to kill before your first ult? I'm like, oh, we're in business, baby.
Yeah. And then that first ult gets a whole lot more scary as well. Picks up a Phage. Keen is, this wave state not looking fantastic, and it doesn't look like a swap is going to be answered here on Gen.G's side. A very early one, in fact, for the Bros as they get this top lane towards, this bottom lane towards the top side. And Morgan just going to try and weather the storm here towards the bottoms. Oh, no! Oh, no. It was a +1 day. Ruler.
Oh,
yeah, well,
and another I mean, to be fair, that one was denied.
Yeah, that's a bit different. We're not blaming the Lord for that.
But like the lack of skin on Kai'Sa, the cannon missed.
Oh, that's what it was. The fluidity of the auto attack meant that he couldn't actually get it off in time.
Look, the bro agents, they're doing a lot of work right now.
Yeah. Well, some plates do go over as Canyon is looking for this first dragon.
Yeah. They will be sacrificing this dragon with the swap towards the top side. Morgan not having a fun time, but does have that TP if he wants to replenish the health. They are looking for a dive here, though, on Keen. He has Ignite.
Yeah, they're stacking this wave up. They know exactly what's going on. This Nocturne walked over a ward. He's level 5. They're just going to walk up to Keen. Let's see whether Keen can outplay this. It's going to be real difficult as Chovy comes over. This might save it as Keen, underneath this turret, he's so incredibly low. Hype is going to be able to pick up the kill, but the turret gets mad at him. Chovy now in a whole host of trouble himself, and down he will go. The dive could not be better by the Bros. And it's 2 kills as well as a bunch of plates, and in good standing for these grubs coming up.
You know, there's a thing we have in Korea when you go to the shops and they have an offer, 1+1.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those, you know. You're looking to buy something, you're looking to get
You just wanted 1 cheeky Snickers and you just walk away with 2 of them.
That's it, right? Chovy comes in trying to save his top laner. And bro, the flash from Polu, great to dodge the charm. Otherwise, he would have just gone down. They drop the aggro, Hype picks up the kill. He disengages, tanks up that 1 hit, and then they just play it slow and calculated. Beautifully played. Closer following Chovy, the critical aspect.
Yep.
And another great start to the game for Bro.
And also, like, this is exactly what Talia loves to do, right? Moving into side lanes. And Chovy getting first roam is impressive, right? But then Weaver's Wall will always be able to get you there in time. So beautifully done by the Bros. That is 3 swift kills locked down for them in trade for just that dragon that Canyon was indeed able to lock down. Still, 250 gold the advantage here for Morgan. About a kill's worth here for Croco as well, who now has the ultimate. So Paranoia is up and he's already got 3 assists.
And as well, he now has 2 ultimate hunter stacks already. So that often what happens is you ult, goes on cooldown, you might get an ultimate hunter stack, so next ult is shorter cooldown, but like his first ult, the cooldown's already going to be lower than it typically would be. That's actually pretty big. You know, getting those ultimate hunter stacks early on makes a big difference to how frequently you have it available. So really solid start to the game. Croco getting a lot of value, and overall things really positive for Bro so far.
Yep, getting closer and closer to item number 1 as well. And I don't even mind. Like, he can hex plate, he can stride break, he can do whatever he likes. He could turn that phage into anything, and I would be very impressed by the way Croco's playing this. And Keen, you don't have that many options to what you're going to turn a phage into, by the way, but still, anything he likes. Keen does get the cannon. There we go. I was so worried about that.
He's doing good. You know, bro, no. They need to make good use of these funds, right? Need to be securing this money. Gen.G are posturing to contest this, though.
Yeah.
Morgan has no TPs walking over.
Oh, there is the smite from Croco. He makes things dark, but the Pop Blossom is going to get spell shielded, but Hype does get picked up. Now Croco able to dive on top of Duro, who's tanking up a lot. It does eventually go down, but that is just the support. In trade for 3, I think Gen.G are happy about that one, and Keen looking for his revenge. Hype forced to flash away, and he will get himself out of the pit. Now Canyon just goes over and takes the remaining grubs and calls it a day.
Well,
was Ruler not there the whole time?
No, and that didn't go so good for Bro.
Yeah.
So Polu goes for Chovy, and then Chovy lands a charm, and they kind of just explode him very quickly, and then they just turn on a closer, and he kind of dies too. And in the meantime, we saw Croco kind of die to the Pop Blossom plus Keen combo.
Yeah.
And Morgan was walking over. He was nearly there. Nearly.
And Ruler wasn't walking over.
No, he was farming.
Yeah. All right. So a sub-good outcome here for the bros. Around the grubs.
Yeah. At least Hype didn't die.
Hey, true. So he did have to flash, but he didn't die. He also got 2 of those kills from earlier on. Didn't have a bounty or anything like that. As you can see, gold is still very, very even between these 2 squads. I'm just a little bit worried for the bros because I feel like this is a very brawly composition from Gen.G, and if things start to get messy, I think that's exactly how this composition likes to play the game.
Yeah.
As we kind of just saw a little bit. As Void Seeker will find. And Polo is going to walk out of that brush. Okay, what is it? So what are we going to see here from Bro to really solidify an advantage here in this game?
I think, again, you just need to play around numbers advantages because you have the tools to set that up. You know, you have a lot of pick potential, you have a lot of burst potential. If you're opting into scenarios like that was an even numbers fight. And I think those are the scenarios where you're going to lose out because, quite frankly, Wukong Ahri, you know, really powerful in those 5v5s. Ahri, it's not Ahri, Nico too.
Yep.
And once they get the resets, it's not a good time. So I think opting into those 5v5s is dangerous. Better than that, just find someone isolated and bully them. I think that's the best case scenario for this team, especially because the gold is now even. You no longer have that advantage at the gold.
Play it like a pick comp. Shape Splitter is actually so handy here for Duro. Allows him to check a lot of things. As there is another phage item completed here as the Trinity Force does come down. We generally frown at Hex Platers, but Croco, he's going to get a pass, even though he did die in that last team fight. Still has been playing this game quite well.
You just have 3 Ultima Hunter stacks and the Hex Plate, so his ult is a very short cooldown.
He might be able to use it like a dash on Ambessa. That'd be very fun. As Polo, not as fun. He's going to get taken down to 300 health. Hype, no one to really cull, but still, that is going to be the Dragons evened out. Oh, Infernal Soul.
Okay.
Here in this game, number 2.
Now, Bro, just because the Infernal...
yeah.
You need to start prioritizing these. Last time, they saw an Infernal Soul and said, not for us.
Yeah, and what they also did was they took the first 2 dragons and it looked like they knew exactly what they wanted. They were taking the objectives, and then they just didn't take an objective for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And so we need more than 2 objectives to be taken in this game.
I agree. I think sometimes, look, I'm going to be real, sometimes people think analysis needs to be complex, really insightful. Sometimes it can be simple.
Sometimes, like, don't die, Morgan, please. He is not going to be able to do anything about that.
You know what, Max? You're correct. He shouldn't have died there.
See? I can do the simple analysis. I've got that one nailed. Morgan dead, ungood.
Yep.
Ruler getting jumped on here by Hype. Also not feeling very good about that. Did only have to invest the ultimate and his barrier. So holds on to the flash. There's at least that.
Yeah, so he managed to
Was
get
that a
out.
cleanse?
That was a
Or
ghost.
it was a ghost, never mind.
Yeah, did the runny fast.
Yeah, I was like, if it was barrier, that would have been a bit weird because he is Kai'Sa. So.
And he
got a little
colleagues. Yep, so Polo going to help clear the wave out, and we do have Herald in 2 minutes. We'll see if Bro still have the appetite for objectives at that point of the game. A little bit touch and go on whether they will, but we're hoping.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I
Brotax still needs to come in, by the way. I can see some purple text, but not very much more. So, oh my god, someone just asked in chat, by the way, what skin is that for the Kai'Sa? 100% agree. I haven't seen this one in years.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen this one in a long time.
I know. Oh my god. Last time I saw it was like in a cinematic, I'm pretty sure. This one's the shiny one.
Oh, that's a cool Kai'Sa skin.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool Kai'Sa skin. I think we call that Nico Kai'Sa, or definitely not Kai'Sa.
Oh, yeah.
That skin line's fantastic.
Oh, man, you know what they should do? They should just... I mean, that would kind of give it away. But they should just... They should make it so every single time Nico, like, turns into the champion, they just have, like, a little mustache.
Yes!
And so if you zoom in really close, you can tell, but why would you be zooming in really close?
True. Like, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But maybe, like, yeah, you like if you're really good at playing against Nico, you just play full zoom the whole time. It's Oblivion style. You're just playing, like, first person. Oh,
you ever played a game of League of Legends, like, fully zoomed in on your character?
Yes. It wasn't very good. But I did have a very immersive experience, and I do like that. As Keen is going to have an immersive experience into the Death Chamber. Here is Closer is going to close in on him. He might be able to do a bit of damage here to Morgan, but he's not. So down goes the Gwen. They return the favor.
Good answer back. Sort of picks we want to see. Closer finding an angle there. Oh, Canyon not going to find an angle.
Yeah, a little bit late on the teleport there as Chobi just tries to pick up the wave.
Morgan's out. Morgan's out. Morgan's out. Yes.
He's out.
Okay, safe. Has the Strike Force in base, we'll pick that up. What champion did you play in this zoomed-in game?
Mordekaiser.
Cool. That's a great choice.
Yeah, always. He like, and this was old Mordekaiser as well, so I got all of those particle effects from that shield.
Oh, man.
Oh, they were fantastic. Juicy. As Rift Herald is being taken picture-in-picture, and we are going to see yet another fight. This time, everyone's here. The flash comes in. Oh, that's a phenomenal shove back there from Closer, but the answer is even better from Gen.G. Hype gets interrupted. He's so far forward as the Acathian rains down, but Morgan, he doesn't get anyone with the counter-strike, and now he's just looking silly as Ruler gets yet another one, and Closer is the last man standing. It looked like a decent start to the fight for the Bros, but ended like a horror story.
I feel like Bro were looking for the cool fight, and Gen.G were looking for the good fight, and the good fight was a lot better than the cool fight.
Oh no, but it was less cool.
Yeah, I mean, Polo finds this great angle on a Chobi where he redirects the ult on Trim. They focus him down, he gets picked off, but they lose 2 in return. And Hype, look at this dash to try and... Oh, but then he's on top of a Wukong. He's like trying to follow him with a culling into melee range of a Wukong.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know...
At that point, like, you understood why he did it.
Yeah.
But then after the fact, you're like, wow, you shouldn't have done it.
They're like focusing down the carries, and they're like, look at our target selection, and they're like, but you're dead. You know?
Yeah. And the problem is that there's 4 carries.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, I know this pose from Degon. This is his stressed pose.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no!
The camera
the camera swap was not what we needed. And then he goes to look back. Does he even, like, I don't even know whether he has a face.
He's traumatized. I'm traumatized.
Oh dear. That was actually perfect. Because, like, that only makes him more depressed, you know? It really does fit the vibe. It's all right. At least he's getting a good stretch. Don't turn to look at the camera. You know that we're going to switch. Just try and look back. Yeah, try. Oh, there it is. There, we see him this time.
He does have a face.
I really kind of thought we'd get the switch back again.
Just keep going back and forth for the whole game.
Yep. As that is the game. I like how you talk about like Degon being like Degon and the cameraman is the new game that we're going to be focusing on.
Yeah.
This one is just making Degon sad. So we're making a new one. It's only 2,000 gold. Gen.G are going to look for their second dragon of the game, but it's not a sole point. There's Bropium to be had here. I think I've seen some canisters.
Another Infernal Dragon for Gen.G. Bro, yet to get an Infernal Dragon in this game. You may think, well, maybe we haven't had an Infernal Dragon in this game. No, we've had a lot. We've had a lot of Infernal Dragons in this series.
We have.
And Bro, we've even had a good amount of dragons in this series. No Infernal Dragons, though.
They've had 3 dragons. Yes, you're exactly right. Closer decided he wanted to get out, and Chovy said no.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's so charming. He just convinces Closer to stick around.
He didn't know you were there.
And he just weavers walled into a guy that can just hit your like really. It's like he was on one of the old trains, right? And he just took an umbrella and just hooked him off. Fox is dying. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a thing happening here on the top side of the map as Croco does manage to kill Keen.
Oh, it's all gone.
But it's a double kill for Duro.
Oh, it's a wuffy tuffy.
It's a wuffy tuffy indeed.
Oh my god. I got oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, we've got the Wukong's going to drive Shelly into another turret.
You know what?
Ruler is keen to go home, I think.
It was a fun day. It was a.
Sometimes we're here for a fun time, not a long time, and it's not a long. Look at that. He even managed to question mark ping.
But like it was good
in the
reaction,
middle of that.
But he was unaware. He was just like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. He actually just said, "What is this?" Yeah. Yeah, and Duro said surprise gift. Oh dear. And here is Duro going for the engage towards the top side, and it was Duro's ping. So just before Duro went for this play, he question mark pinged the bottom lane and then went for the counter dive in top.
I love how locked in Gen.G are. The automatic charm response from Chovy and the automatic ping response from Duro.
Yeah. The ping was like almost at exactly the same time as the charm. That was what was so impressive about it. They both react. Oh my god, speaking of which, the charm can it connect onto Hype? Chovy going for a bit of a drive-by here as the resets are starting to come in. There's another one. And Gen.G really starting to look like the playing with the food has begun.
Oh. You know what I just noticed, Max?
What did you just notice?
So if you actually look at the top of the screen, so Bro...
Oh, God, okay, I'm doing it again.
Yeah, so Bro... No, not that. If you look,
okay.
Bro are 5 and 12, and Gen.G are 17 and 0. I didn't...
Oh!
That explains it. So it makes sense now.
We have really been talking to Dagon a little bit too much about this, haven't we?
See, I thought Bro were favored in this matchup, but I'm starting to... Yeah, this...
I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Morgan uncontested taking a turret.
True, actually. Morgan's popping off.
I think Morgan is definitely in an even matchup.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a Morgan dip.
Yeah, but the team, it's a different story. As Canyon, he's scared of Morgan. You just saw that, right? The scared Yuumi.
Yeah.
And he's just going to take Otacon for free. As we say it. Oh, dearie.
Yeah. It's a good charm from Chovy.
I remember that moment when you said, oh, no. That really did sum up not only this team fight, but the series thus far.
Yeah. You know what? I just think it's beautiful how they just gave us a healthy helping of hope.
They did.
You know, they really took us for a ride. They really made us believe.
You had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
Of both games as well. You know, they brought us back in.
That roam to the top lane from Closer, that dive, that was so beautifully orchestrated from the bros. And then they were like, well, we've shown you that we can do it. Don't need to do anything else, you know?
Yeah.
Will they get an Infernal Drake this game, though? That might be something that they can achieve.
You know, sometimes when the game goes out the window, there should be a new objective. And I think that should be their objective, to get an Infernal Dragon this series. It was too difficult for them last... Well, I don't know if it was too difficult. It wasn't on their minds last game.
Yeah.
And I think it should be their goal this game.
We should put it onto their mind.
Someone suggested to them.
Yep. Someone should suggest to Ruler that perhaps the Jackie Love skin is actually the way to go. Because our viewers are getting confused about this weird Kai'Sa skin that he's using.
Yeah, it's very purple. Did a purple team win Worlds and pick Kai'Sa?
Yeah, it's almost like she looks like a Void character. It's super weird.
Oh,
Degon.
this is
How
our
you doing,
Kai'Sa
mate?
expert, Degon, who's going to give us some
Yeah.
insight.
So which Kai'Sa skin do you use? You
Oh,
use the base skin.
He uses the bit. Oh, wait, is this... Did Bro win Worlds with a purple jersey at some point? Oh, no. Okay, it wasn't
Does
Bro.
Kai'Sa have a green skin?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the bros aren't going to get this dragon.
Whoa, don't speak too early. They could Nocturnal in and... No, I'm not going to get this one.
Can I speak now?
Yeah.
So the bros aren't going to get this dragon.
They have more... They have another chance. They have one more chance.
They do.
Okay.
I mean, they could get 3.
They could. That is opportunity.
It's just feeling like perhaps that is less and less likely, as Chovy, with 3 items now completed, is pretty scary on this Ahri.
Yeah, you also want a Banshees, which is kind of unfair.
It is very unfair. It does mean that, like, when Croco's like, haha, I've got you, you can't see him. It's a bit sad.
Yeah. Hype. A little spooky.
All right.
Not a spooky. Oh, Polu.
Okay, Polu goes in. I don't know what I was talking about by the parent.
How come they're playing so far up and aggressive? The guy's Dragon died 30 seconds ago.
Yep, Chovy goes in, finds the point-blank charm, and down goes the Nautilus. And there is the paranoia. Keen just says, I don't care about your seismic shove. You're going to have to, just get out of there. And they do. We're not fighting for really anything at all.
That's what, like, Dragon, it was a minute ago. Dragon died a minute ago, and now they're, like, playing up.
Maybe because Bro haven't got enough Bro tax, they spent it all in game number 1. They don't have timers. They just couldn't afford to watch.
So they think the Dragon's spawned.
Yeah, they were like, it's time to get Dragon, guys. I just need to wind it up.
That would explain a lot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, you know what? We want to be mid right now. And Gen.G are like, okay. Well, we want to kill
Breaking
right
my
now.
brain.
Yeah, bye, Polu. Chovy is 6 levels above him. That's without Rod of Ages, which normally gives you the cheap extra level. That was a better wall from Closer. They did have vision of him, so it was a good wall to get out.
He did manage to get himself out of the way of that one, as Duro is thinking about ganking, but he is by himself. Actually, he's not thinking about ganking. He's just defending his team because they're taking Baron.
Yeah. Ooh, they don't have a blue trinket.
All
They're
right.
TPing, they know. They're going.
Chovy will once again find that point-blank charm, and the Baron is just gone. There's the Pop Blossom. It's only onto 1, but it's onto the priority target, and Closer will go down. Morgan gets into the back line. The Cyclone's there, though, and Morgan is trying to get out and is denied. Oh my god, the damage from this composition is absurd! And it's Polu that dies last in the fight. That's just how good the target selection is here for Gen.G. They'll take the ace alongside the Baron, and they will look to finish off this round robin 18-0 here in LCK 2025, and will undoubtedly be the best team in LCK after this regular season, and looking like formidable opposition heading towards the road to MSI.
Even the final bosses of the Bros, with all the Bro tax and the will behind them, couldn't take them down. Gen.G, once again, breaking records and just showing what they can do.